What is going on, everyone? FrancoTech here, back with another review video, and today I'll be taking a look at easily one of the, if not the best bang for your buck phone out there. And of course I am talking about the newest entry to the OnePlus series, the OnePlus 3. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into the review. Before I get into the build quality or anything else, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 5.5-inch AMOLED display. This year we still do not have a Quad HD display, which is not a big deal for me. OnePlus needs a way to keep the cost of the phone down, and if it comes to staying with a 1080p display in order for this phone to have an amazing price point, then I am not complaining. And the display itself is nothing to complain about also. The screen quality is really good, of course with some great viewing angles and great colors, and it really does a great job of providing a great entertainment experience. Video watching and gaming on the OnePlus 3 was really pleasing because of the thin side bezels and the great resolution. As always, video quality and sound quality always goes hand in hand, and the speaker on the OnePlus 3 is pretty good. Nothing better than pretty good, nothing worse than pretty good, just pretty good. The speaker is downward facing, which I prefer over rear facing, and the audio gets pretty loud and it's pretty crisp. It doesn't get as loud as I would like it to be, but it's still pretty good for a single speaker. So now I'm going to be taking a look at the design and build quality of the OnePlus 3, and man, this is one beautiful looking device. In fact, in my honest opinion, this is probably one of the best looking and feeling phones out there, and yes, even better than some of the higher priced phones. I didn't really like the design of last year's OnePlus 2, but this year it's a big difference that I just can't get enough of. The OnePlus 3 has an all-metal design that not only looks amazing, but feels really great in the hands and has a very premium feel. It's a thin phone with a flat back that slightly curves off to the edges, which gives it a really nice grip even though it is a larger phone. Looking at the OnePlus 3, the first thing that comes to my mind is this is what you get when you mix an iPhone 6s Plus and one of the HTC M series phones, and really how can you not see it? The rounded edges, button placement, home buttons, and lower portion of the phone all really resemble the look of the current iPhones, and that is not a bad thing at all. I think the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus both have a really nice simplistic look and design, and the only main difference between the iPhones and the OnePlus 3 is that the OnePlus 3 also has an amazing build quality to back it up, which is similar to what you would get with the HTC One series phones. Now, of course, looks are a big part of a great phone, but they aren't everything, and not only does the OnePlus 3 win big in the build and design department, it also wins big time in the hardware department. OnePlus has always done a great job of giving us high-end specs at a low cost, and they still have not let us down. The OnePlus 3 is running on the latest and greatest of high-end tech, and that is a Snapdragon 820, an Adreno 530 GPU, and an outstanding 6GB of RAM, and it's no question at all that the OnePlus 3 runs extremely fast with no problems at all. This phone can run any app that you throw at it, any game, pretty much anything with no struggle at all, which is as you would expect with these kind of specs. Software also plays a big role when it comes to speed, and the OnePlus 3 is running on Android 6.0.1 and Oxygen OS, which of course comes with absolutely no bloatware and runs extremely well. Oxygen OS brings stock Android with tons of customization, which is a really nice thing to have. The OnePlus 3 does come with capacitive touch buttons, and of course you can switch between that and on-screen buttons, but those will take up more space on the display. We do also have a fingerprint scanner that can be found on the home button, which is really fast and really responsive. The failure rate on the scanner is really low. I would say about 9.8 out of 10 times it works, which is actually really freaking good. With phone usage comes battery life, and this time around the OnePlus 3 is running on a 3000 mAh battery, which yes, that is smaller than last year's 3300 mAh battery found on the OnePlus 2. It's a pretty disappointing thing to go from 3300 back to 3000, and I wish OnePlus would not have made that change. However, battery life on this phone is still pretty good. I was able to make it through the day on a single charge, but that was kind of pushing it. The great thing about this battery is that it does have dash charging capabilities, which allows the phone to charge from 0 to 60% in about 30 minutes. So even if you're running low on power, just grab your USB-C cable and plug in, and you should be charged up pretty fast. Unfortunately for some, this phone does not have wireless charging capabilities, which is another thing cut from the phone in order to make it more affordable, which shouldn't really be that big of a deal breaker. Finally, let's talk about the camera. The camera found on the OnePlus 3 is a 16 megapixel shooter with an f2.0 aperture on a Sony sensor, and picture quality is as you would expect, really good. Pictures come out really clear with great detail and great depth of field, and I was really pleased with how they looked even with low lighting photos thanks to that f2.0 aperture. Color reproduction is also really nice with a more saturated look. What I really love about this camera is not only the picture quality but also the software and user experience. The app opens up really fast and takes pictures fast as well, so you can always get that shot that you want. There are a couple features implemented into the software like time-lapse, slow motion, panorama mode, and also a manual mode, which isn't as intuitive as the ones found on the LG devices, but still really nice to have. Of course, the phone does record it in 4K video quality, and that video quality is also really good. So as you can tell, I really like this phone, and in the end, OnePlus has done such a great job at making an amazing phone at a more affordable price point. This is easily the best bang for your buck when it comes to having a high-end spec phone, and really there's nothing big to complain about on the OnePlus 3. I haven't enjoyed a phone in a while as much as I enjoy this one, and I still can't get over how amazing this phone feels, looks, and runs, and it's definitely a phone that I would recommend to you guys. So that's gonna wrap up this review. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.